Our cover story tonight is technically not even news. That's because we are telling you how the Taliban are just being themselves. If you expected them to be any different, then I'm sorry to break it to you, they're still a terrorist group pretending to be the government. They're doing everything they should not be doing, like setting up a squad of suicide bombers. That's their USP after all. They're also going after the minorities of Afghanistan, Sikhs, Hindus and Hazaras. They're all being hunted. There are reports of violent attacks and mass killings. Places of worship are being vandalized. Last evening, the Sikhs were targeted. Their main shrine in Kabul was attacked. Take a look at these pictures. These are Talib storming into Gurudwara Karte Parwan. They're heavily armed. They easily overpower the 2 security guards stationed here. They smash at least 10 CCTV cameras, perhaps to make sure that their faces are not captured, but they miss one. And that's the camera which captured this attack. It captured the video you're watching. You see Talib searching for something inside this office in Gurudwara, and this is not the only video of the incident. We have another one. We haven't been able to verify its authenticity, but it's going viral on social media platforms. This video shows a man conducting a survey of the Gurudwara after the Taliban left.
ये टूट गई हाँ हाँ ये भी टूट गई है
जिथे सारी रिकॉर्डिंग आउंदी इत्थे दा ताला भी तोड़ेगे इत्थे दा ताला भी टूटेगी जो गुरगैन से बूटे दे नाल चले गए अंदर
एक कैमरा भी टूटा हुआ है सब कुछ वो काट के सब तोड़ दिया एक कैमरा भी टूट गया
This is a sorry state of minorities in Afghanistan. Is this the inclusivity that the Taliban promised? They vandalize shrines and justify their actions. In this case, you won't believe what they've said in their defense. The Taliban, after doing what you saw they did, claim that they were there to protect the Gurudwara. Our correspondent in Kabul, Anas Malik, visited the shrine today. He sent us his ground report.
I'm standing outside the Gurudwara Guru Singh Sahiba in Kabul's Karte Parwan area. This is the entrance to the main Gurudwara, where yesterday we saw a heavy deployment or a heavy influx of Taliban men who had forcefully entered the Gurudwara premises yesterday and then vandalized the CCTV cameras. They had violated the sanctity of the property itself by forcefully entering. A Taliban spokesperson is yet to comment on the matter. We saw them being here for about 4 to 6 hours. We saw it with our own eyes. And the Taliban men outside, they gave the reasoning that they were here in order to quote unquote protect the property. But this was the first since the Taliban takeover.
The Taliban don't care about minorities. That's very clear. Look at this post. It is from Anas Haqqani. He's a Taliban leader, and this is what he says. Today, we visited the shrine of Sultan Mahmood Ghaznavi, a renowned Muslim warrior and mujahid of the 10th century. Ghaznavi established a strong Muslim rule in the region from Ghazni and smashed the idol of Somnath. This man, Ghaznavi, was the first independent ruler of the Turkic dynasty. He attacked the Somnath temple in the state of Gujarat. Not once, not twice, but several times he looted and plundered this temple. And today, Anas Haqqani is using his memory to insult Hindus in India. This is how brazen the Taliban is in its contempt for minorities, and not just Hindus and Sikhs. Ethnic minorities like the Hazaras are also living in fear in Afghanistan. The Taliban are attacking them. Soon after they took power in August, the Taliban went looking for members of Afghan forces. They were in the Daikundi province on the 30th of August. 13 ethnic Hazaras were rounded up. The Taliban killed all of them. 11 victims were former members of the Afghan forces. 2 were civilians. One of them was a 17-year-old girl. All of them killed in cold blood. And such mass killing of the Hazaras is a Taliban speciality, we can tell you. In July, they massacred 9 Hazara men. This happened in Ghazni soon after the Taliban took control of this province. Then the details are disturbing. We are going to advise viewer discretion before we tell you what they did. Out of the 9 victims, 6 men were shot dead. 3 others were tortured to death, one of them strangled with his own scarf. Then the Taliban sliced off his arm muscles. It's barbaric, and it continues. In central Afghanistan, around 700 Hazara families were forced to leave their homes. The Taliban issued eviction orders. They gave these families 9 days to leave. Who is going to take their place? Pashtuns, the group that makes up most of the Taliban. Reports say the Taliban are rewarding their fighters by throwing thousands of Hazaras out of their homes. Long story short, this is the opposite of inclusivity. The Taliban have no intention whatsoever of protecting minorities, and the world already knows this. The problem is they won't do very much. They can't. So they're treating these terrorists with kid gloves. Let me show you how the European Union, for instance, described the Taliban's crimes in September. They said the provincial government in Afghanistan has, quote-unquote, fallen short of its promises. The Taliban are on a killing spree. They're committing human rights violations, and all the European Union can come up with is that they're falling short of promises. The policy of engaging with the Taliban was always flawed. We've always said this, and it is backfiring already. 50 days. This policy is allowing a terror regime to get away with heinous crimes. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.